So out of West Virginia, Brian's a multi-million-dollar earner. He's been a top earner. He's been in a couple companies. He has this business in his blood. It's definitely in his DNA. It's in his genes. Very passionate about it, about entrepreneurship and business ownership. Knows how to build sales teams, knows how to build an organization, knows how to identify a trend, identify opportunity. He's identified this. He'll share with you why. So sit back, enjoy, and let's welcome to the call out of West Virginia, none other than Mr. Bryan Bellville.
Rob, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure and an honor to be among leaders like you and Rob on the line tonight. You know, it's just been a real pleasure to actually come out of, I was calling it semi-retirement. Let's just call it mental retirement, because there really wasn't anything out there that I believe was exciting enough for me to put my reputation on the line again. So folks, you have been invited here tonight. We're really excited. Please do not mistake my excitement for hype. And the reason why I say that is that I'm genuinely, on a scale of 1 to 10 personality, about a 12. You know, so sometimes I start talking too fast. Somebody told me one time, "Sir, you talk too fast." And I said, I disagree. Maybe you listen too slow. You know, but we get excited, and I'm going to share this information with you. And we are going to lean more towards the business side tonight. We are going to touch on the product. But the person that invited you here this evening invited you because they really felt more of an obligation and a responsibility to share this with you more than financial gain. Now, of course, there is an opportunity, you know, but what better way to share something with someone that they're going to win, their health is going to win way more than the person. And that's what we're excited about is genuinely our product. And we're going to highlight, you know, the business overview, because folks, we're coming into the close of our very first month in the new year and 3 months in business. So we're excited. So Rob, let's roll, brother. Now, the cool thing about any time you look at business is, I've always said this, you want to find something very unique, because if you're not unique, you're always going to compete on price and convenience. Now, I've been in a competitive market my entire life, and there's nothing wrong with competition. It drives the marketplace and consumers and pricing. However, if you have a competitive edge, and we're exclusive and proprietary, meaning there is no competition in the industry. When I say the industry, I mean networking and corporate America. You know, so what we're talking about tonight is one of a kind. Now, you've heard that before, but this is fact, folks. Documentation beats conversation all day long. So this is definitely one of a kind opportunity for you this evening. Now, if you really look at a lot of the companies that have been out there today, I ran into this in my previous company. There's a lot of sites out there where people will, they call it front-end loading. They buy a bunch of product, you know, and they just sell for wholesale and they put it out there. I remember our IT department and our previous company, we were literally trying to shut down 100 sites a day. That is not a made-up number, 100 sites a day, because you're not supposed to be able to sell it online, but it's very difficult to police, you know. So because of the product and the opportunity that we have, you're not going to see our product appearing on any of the sites out there, simply because there's only one product per person, and we'll get into that as we move through the presentation.
For decades, everyone's been telling us what nutritional supplements our bodies need. Throughout generations, our DNA has already known. And today, one company takes human history into the 21st century. Because every body is unique. And your DNA is the authority on your body's nutritional needs. Introducing Euphoria, a nutritional supplement unique to every one of us because it's custom designed for each of us based on our DNA. No more guessing. No more risking deficiency or toxicity. No more wasting money. Just 100% you. Customized design. Delivered to your door, and affordable. Your parents gave you your DNA. But this isn't your parents' nutrition. This is your own designer nutrition. This is your Youtrition. Euphoria. Being you never felt better.
I'm telling you what, folks, if that don't light your fire, your wood's wet. You know, and what I mean by that is this: the intellectual software and the products that we're talking about. This has been 20 years in the making. And let me talk to you a little bit about an opportunity curve. You know, normally if you find something, you've always heard, oh, you got to be in early to make any money. Well, I disagree. I think you can make money in any company that you get in and put your mind to and put work behind it. Now, the opportunity may have a lower ceiling as far as income is concerned because timing does make a difference. But normally when you find an opportunity that has all of the timing, it normally comes with all of the risk. And if you find a company that's normally 20 years old, you have all the stability and opportunity with very little risk, but you are reducing the opportunity as far as penetrating the marketplace. You know, we're in a position right now as a company to where not only has this software been in place for over 20 years and been in development, but there's over 400 million different types of variations of our ingredients and our products and our formulas, but it's one per person to understand that. So we have a very unique opportunity as far as timing, meaning that we have all the timing with none of the risk that you would traditionally see in a business that's only been up and running a couple of months. So the very unique thing is about, as you hear us tell this story, is that this is basically a startup, but it's not, and you have all the timing. Now, this is, I really like this slide because it's the beginning of the end of blind nutrition. Now, I've been in the nutritional industry. I've been in the industry about 27 years. And, you know, I've only had a couple of years that I wasn't in nutrition. And the reason why I love nutrition is because genuinely, not only can you help somebody financially, which we call their wealth, but you can help them with their health. You know, and that was the passion that I found, that if I was going to share a product with someone, I wanted it to really impact their life. You know, not that I never had anybody call me crying because I saved them $6 on their long distance phone bill. You know, now somebody loses weight or they feel better, you know, obviously they're emotionally involved. And for years, for 50 years, folks, it has been blind. You know, we have been guessing. Every company's been guessing. There's a lot of great formulas. There's a lot of great formulas as far as absorption. I've been through the liquids and the pills and all this and, you know, all these other formulas. And I think there's good products, but it is a quote unquote generic product as far as a broad product, meaning it wasn't designed for you. So that's why we say that we're changing from blind nutrition to designer nutrition. There's going to be no more guessing because we're using your DNA. So this is the beginning of the end of the nutritional industry as far as we see it, because let me say this, technology has finally caught up with nutrition. Now, this is also good. I had a guy ask me the other day, and he was like, so where do we, you know, send the swabs and what are we doing? I'm like, well, first off, we do have a world-class lab. We're not trying to hire people for $10 an hour to figure out how to, you know, take your DNA, put it through a system. So we actually have the greatest third-party lab that has actually been specializing in this for over 20 years. You know, so that's very important to understand. What we're handling is basically we're the marketing arm, the marketing division of everything with our products. And then we needed someone, you know, they say that a good leader surrounds himself with good followers and a great leader surrounds himself with great leaders. So we knew that we needed something very special to be able to have the best technology for you. We are HIPAA compliant, CLIA certified, which means that your information is absolutely protected as much as humanly possible. You know, so that was very important to me, you know, and as people ask those questions, you know, we have dotted every I and crossed every T. So we are definitely with the right laboratory for sure. Now, as you can tell here, we like to have fun. And, you know, since I am a Terminator fan, you know, this is the Nutritionator. And the cool thing about this is I was introduced to this concept about 10 years ago. And I say this statement a lot. There's nothing more powerful than an idea whose time has come. There's nothing more powerful than an idea whose time has come. You know, the idea of cell phones 20 years ago was great, but you had to have a satellite and it was $5 a minute. Now you fast forward today when it's, you know, mainstream America, you know, you hear of the Ancestry.com, the 23andMe. So now the technology is mainstream America, but we went one step further. We have the only machine that we call the Nutritionator. Let me say that again, the one and only. Somebody asked me, you know, what if somebody else comes out with a product? I highly believe that someone is going to come out with a competitive product. For every McDonald's, there's a Burger King. But guess what? McDonald's has 3 times the real estate. They pioneered the industry, and that's exactly what we're doing. So we've got a big run ahead of us because they're going to have a machine like this. They're going to have to build it, and we've been working on it for 10 years. You know, so we have the one and only. This is going to mix and blend your product with your barcode. So that is absolutely one of the key factors that separates us not only from the networking industry, but also from corporate America. Now, they call these SNPs. Now, here's a little bit of the science. We're not going to deep dive into this. Number one, because I'm not a scientist. Number two, because this is just a 30,000-foot view. And for all you product folks out there that really want to dig in, we have some fantastic videos on euphoriascience.com/resources. You can get back with the person that put you on there. I think there's 9 or 10 now from Doc Jen. They're about 60 seconds long, and it'll really help you understand why that we're breaking down these key SNPs. Now, what I like to share is that Ancestry.com and 23andMe, they check about 8 to 12 SNPs. And I'm so glad that we use a swab, because for those of you that have ever done the other one, you have to spit in a tube and fill it up. So, you know, ours is actually a swab, which is really cool. But these are the 18 SNPs that we have as a company, and we're actually adding them as science improves and they keep coming out. So we have more SNPs than anybody else, which is going to give us a better profile for you and your DNA than any other program out there, and especially since we specialize in nutrition. Now, the important part is to know that we're just not throwing products in there. You know, we're approaching 100 plant-based, peer-reviewed ingredients. Now, this meant a lot to me being in the nutritional industry because I have learned every single year. You know, I had no idea there were 2 types of coenzyme Q10. I had no idea there were different concentrations of your omegas and your oils and everything else. And I also found out on the documentary that Sam's and Walmart, you know, they use sawdust as one of their fillers, you know, so understanding that you do get what you pay for. And that's the thing about supplementation. You know, the only competitors that the networking, and I want to talk about the networking industry as a whole. Networking as a whole has had the best nutritional products because we focus our time and dollars on that product. Now, when you're mass producing like a GNC or somebody else out there, or Sam's or Walmart or Costco, whatever it is, you're just buying something to get the price down. You know, so you're getting very little concentration and quality of the product. You know, so I've always said that the networking industry has had the best nutritional products. Now, as a company, imagine all of the best companies coming together to one, because we have 100 of these different ingredients, and it's going to be a certain formula for you. So basically, this is going to be vitamins and minerals that are bio-identical. Boy, is that a cool word. And here is the, I actually posted the other day, like, for example, when I was talking about all the other companies in the industry, I see a lot of products on this slide that companies have taken to massive momentum with one product, just a side juice. And I'm sure I don't even have to say the name of a couple companies. We all know that 8 to 10 years ago, with one product, they created massive momentum. Now think about what we're doing here, specifically your DNA, and we have 100 of these ingredients. So we've taken the best of all of these products in the networking industry, tied it together to your DNA. That's why there is zero competition on all levels, especially even from an ingredient perspective. Now this is actually a really cool thing. When I started investigating, if you will, or doing my due diligence, immunetics, there's actually an entire industry labeled for what we're doing right now. And we acknowledge that our DNA is the authority on what we need. I don't have to convince anybody that there isn't anything more specific than your DNA. You know, that's why my fingerprints are different than yours. It identifies you. And obviously you can read the statement here. You know, you are going to have the ignorant. Now, here's the thing about ignorance. Ignorance isn't a nasty word. It just means you have lack of knowledge on a certain subject. Now, there is a big difference in ignorance and stupidity. Stupidity is when you have the information, you don't take action on it. You know, so the ignorant might ask, what's this product going to do for me? When obviously those that of us that understand it, the wise, we're excited about what it's going to do for our body, because actually it is giving your body a voice for the first time. Now, the opportunity, you know, folks, here's the thing. I want everybody to think about the economy and our nation as a whole right now, and even globally, if you will. Of where we're at. I sincerely believe every single person that can hear the sound of my voice, and we're going to shout it from the rooftops, needs a home-based business. Whether you join Euphoria or not, you need a home-based business. Tax purposes, an additional stream of income. You know, corporate America's security is a myth. It's a thing of the past. You know, I believe in higher education, but we see more college students right now that cannot find jobs. We call them the sandwich generation, because there's more people living with their parents right now from the age of 23 to 35 in the history of the world. So when you think about what can I do to make extra money, obviously a home-based business is the #1 tax deduction strategy, period. And then, if you was to go have a part-time job, if you were making $10 an hour, working 20 hours a week, that's $200 a week minus taxes. So you're busting your butt, and you understand that this is a business that you can work spare time, part-time, and we have some people doing it all the time. All the time could be 5 hours if that's all you got. All the time could be 50 hours if that's what you have. But make no mistake that multiple streams of income and being able to change what you talk about. Everybody's told somebody about a great restaurant. Everybody's told somebody about a great movie. That's called free advertising. The reality of it is we're going to show you how to get compensated for sharing a one-of-a-kind unique product and actually create a career opportunity. The reason why we like the word career, because this is career-minded. We have a career mentality. This isn't something that we're getting into thinking, well, I think I'm going to try this for a couple of months and see what happens. Negative. We are in this for the long haul, and we have timing on our side. Now, there obviously are two ways to actually, purchase a product or become a nutritionist, as you will. A customer, obviously, as you can see, there's no membership fee. You're just being a customer, right? You're going to get back with the person that put you on, this webinar tonight, this Zoom room, and go to their personal website and purchase, your kit, your U-Start kit, and your product that we're going to prepare for you. But the reality of it is that if you're looking at this as a business and you're just not real sure about the business, starting as a customer is a great way. It is absolutely a great way to start if you're not ready to really look at the business side of this. Now, the only difference between a customer and a nutritionist is a $40 fee. That's an annual fee. Now, what you get for that $40 is probably one of the greatest websites and apps and technology that I've ever seen. I started bought a franchise restaurant, and I couldn't spend $40 a year to hold enough email space. So the technology that you get for that $40 fee is absolutely incredible. Now, again, the difference between a customer and nutritionist is that $40 fee to put you in business, and you can earn commissions for what you talk about. So those are really the main differences between the two, because everybody's going to be a customer. You just have to ask yourself whether or not you want to get paid. Now, as far as compensation plan, we just skim the surface. There's a great little 5-minute video. We have a PDF file, again, on that euphoriascience.com/resources. So it's not that we don't want to give you the information. If we was to talk about each individual thing, we'd be here till next Tuesday. So the reality of it is we want to scan the surface for you so that we can pique your interest enough to want to learn more. That is what this is about. We don't want you to take our word for it. We want you to take your word for it. That's the most important thing, is you making the conscious business decision that this is for you and your family. And I can tell you that this compensation plan is very unique. It actually is going to pay those that work. If you do nothing, you make nothing. If you do a little, you probably make a little. If you do a lot, chances are you're going to make a lot. And if you go out there and do it all the time, there is a shot at fairy tale money. But what I love about this industry and our company is how many people have ever said this: man, they just don't pay me what I'm worth, blah. Guess what? We're going to pay you exactly what you're worth. And any company will. That's the reality of being an entrepreneur. You're starting your own business. You are the CEO of your own business for literally less than a couple $100s to get started. So when you think about the cost of getting in the business and then what the return, the ROI, the return on investment can possibly be, folks, here's what I want to tell you. And if you don't remember anything I say, remember this: you will offset the cost of this business with the mileage alone being tax deductible. The miles you drive alone from a tax deduction perspective will offset the cost of the startup and your monthly fee. I've known that for 20 years, and it's why I knew I would always have a home-based business. So please keep that in mind. And obviously, if you want to learn more about our compensation plan, we pay weekly, we pay monthly. But let me say this before we go on: residual income is what I call the 8th wonder of the world, meaning talk to somebody once, they buy a product, they buy it again, you get paid for life. Because there's people on this webinar tonight that are going to take this product for the rest of their lives. And it's going to enhance their lives. It's going to make them a better person, inside and out. Then someone's going to make a small commission every single month off of that. That's what I call a win-win situation. So residual is basically what I call the 8th wonder of the world, and it's mailbox money, and it's actually really exciting. Now, again, this is what you can see on the PDF. This is the breakdown of our compensation plan. So for those of you that, may be experienced networkers, experienced entrepreneurs, you'll probably want to deep dive into this. For those of you that are relatively new to the industry, basically looking at this, it might look like hieroglyphics, and that's okay. The good news and the only thing to understand is that there is a stair-step process. Just if you was to go to college, you're a freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. So there is a learning curve, but the great thing about what we do is, as a mentor, this is earn while you learn. Think about the guests that are on this call tonight. The person that invited them, how hard has their job been? Not very hard. They're sitting there listening and learning while they're earning. And we'll do the same for you. But what I do love about this company is the spirit that they have. If you look at the name, of our ranks, most companies are like, I am a Royal Super Intergalactic Ambassador. This is actually beginner, builder, producer, mover, shaker, influencer, innovator, generator, and the top rank is rainmaker. I mean, so how fun is that? So there is a stair-step process, and as you move up, obviously your paycheck goes up. But here's what I love about this industry. You can't go anywhere in our comp plan without helping other people get where they want to go. Zig said it best. Help enough other people find what they want, and you'll trip over what you've been looking for the whole time. Here's what the kit looks like. When I was doing my due diligence, I tell you that I'm just like a marketing geek, if you will. Like a construction worker, a contractor walks in Home Depot and gets feverish. I walk in Best Buy and they got to kick me out of there, because there's a reason why an iPhone case is soft and it's the feel and there's a smell, because that's marketing at its best. So the product, they spared no expense. When you get that in, you're going to have an instruction card. ABC 1, 2, 3, and you're going to have your pre-trition. This is so exciting because it does take about 10 to 14 days once you've swabbed your cheeks and sent the product in. It does take about 14 days to get that. So what are you doing in the meantime? You're preparing your body. You're actually flushing your system with a gentle cleanse, which is our base formula, which is going to get your body prepared for your own personal nutrition. So this is all turnkey. You got 2 swabs to make sure we get every fallele that we can, is what they call it. Black envelope, hermetically sealed, all that good stuff. It's prepaid. It's probably one of the most professionally done packages that I've ever seen. And you're even going to get a discount coupon in there for your lab fee. So it's actually all turnkey for you. Now, as far as getting started in the business with the packs, there are different levels. You can purchase one kit for yourself. I call it a kit. You can purchase one kit, which is $159. Right? If you want to be a customer, it's $159. That's going to come with your 30-day supply of your pre-trition and your DNA kit. So if you think about it from a cost perspective, if you was to look at, Ancestry or 23andMe, $69, $79 for that kit, well, it's very similar for ours, but you are also getting a 30-day product included in that, which is your 30-day cleanse. That's one pack. Now, you can get a 3-pack, 5-pack, or 10-pack. Now, obviously, the price is going to increase, but there is a benefit as far as a discount on the volume. So the point is this: get started. The most important thing for you to do is get started. And here, you don't want to overinvest and put yourself in harm's way if you have bills that are coming in a couple of weeks, and you don't want to underinvest, right? Cut yourself short by not having a few extra kits on hand to retail. So you want to find the position that's comfortable for you. And the best way to to talk that through is with a person that puts you on this webinar. So that way you can talk through what is the best position for you to get enrolled, but make no mistake. The most important thing is for you to get started. There's bonuses, different discounts that come along with it. So be sure to ask the person that put you on this call a few of those specifics as soon as we're finished here. Now, the rev share pool, this is an exciting concept for those of you that are excited and really want to build. We actually have a pool. And imagine all of the company. And what I love about this is that this puts us all on the same team. When they take 1% of the company and they put it into a pool, and you earn a share of that pool, I don't care if they're upline, downline, sideline, crossline, between lines, it doesn't matter. Everybody in the company you override. So you're rooting for everybody, right? And this company is going to change the landscape of nutrition. Let me say that again. This company will change the landscape of nutrition, not only in the networking space, but in the corporate America space as well. And as the bigger this company grows, the bigger your check gets. That's what's exciting about how they've put this plan together. We have that, you know, on a monthly basis, on the weekly commissions that come in, and the monthly once you hit Rainmaker. So there's two different pools that you can actually participate in, but it puts us all on the same team. So it's a great concept, because here's why. Compensation drives behavior. And we want to have the right behavior, which is all of us going out and hitting our own personal goals. So that's an awesome part of our plan. Being you never felt better, folks. Rob, I think this is our last slide. Last slide. Okay. Well, this is what I call big boy talk, for those of you that are out there, because we take this very seriously, and we appreciate you actually being here with us. But I want to speak to your heart for a second. This business isn't for everybody. The product is. When you think about starting a business, you may be thinking, I've tried this and I've never been successful. You know, I've done these things. What makes this different? We just spent 25 or 30 minutes telling you why this is different. But at the end of the day, it really boils down to what I call the you factor. Now, the great thing about it is that you do have to be coachable and teachable. I've been doing this for 27 years. The reason why I was only successful the last 10, because I was stubborn for the first 17. You know, I just couldn't believe it was that simple, and I couldn't sell out to the system. And more than anything else, I needed a mentor. See, we're willing, myself and, you know, Rob 1 and Rob 2 that we have on the line are dedicated to helping you be as successful as you want to be. You have to help us help you, whether you want to make $500 a month, $5,000 a month, or $50,000 a month. You know, just caution. If you say $50,000 a month, which is easy to say, don't get sick of us calling you and trying to help you. You know, so if you want to make 500, you know, we need to know that. If you want to make 5,000, we need to know that, because we need to know at which level you want to participate, what type of schedule that you can work, because we're going to be here. You know, until the good Lord takes me away, you know, I'm going to be here. Both Robs are going to be here. Our leadership team is going to be here. So when you join this business, you're in business for yourself, but you're not by yourself. You will have us help you every step of the way. Now, the important thing is you want to fire your upline as soon as humanly possible. That means you've been mentored, and we're going to teach you how to do it. Then we're going to teach you how to teach. You know, that's the thing about networking. And J. Paul Getty said it best. I'd rather have 1% of 100 people's efforts versus 100% of my own. And even the Lone Ranger had Tano. You know, so we want to help you. We want to help you succeed, you know, regardless of what that is. If you're a customer, we want to help you walk through that process. If you want to join this opportunity and, you know, for you and your family and create an additional stream of income, you know, we want to welcome you aboard, and we do not take that lightly. When someone takes their time commitment and then their financial commitment, those are the first two commitments, and then it takes a mental commitment, and sometimes that's the most difficult one, but we'll help you every step of the way. Rob, thank you so much for allowing me to speak this evening. I appreciate each and every one of you, and awesome slides, Mr. Carlisle. And folks, I'll just again, please don't take this information for granted. We thank you for spending time with us. Rob, back to you.